if you only knew what goes on in the breaks. Alrighty, folks, New York City mayoral race underway already, and the candidates are making their final pitch before tomorrow's actual physical election. A bunch of early voting has already been done. Our RAV chief White House correspondent Brian Glenn is in the Big Apple, New York City, to give us an update. Brian, we're hearing a lot of almost record turnout early voting going on. And most every betting site has Mamdani slam dunking. Tell us what's going on the street there.
Yeah, I think you're right on that, Eric. Good afternoon. That has been the consensus that Mamdani has got this extended lead that Como or Silva can't make up tomorrow, but we'll find out. But as we saw the early voting, you know, he came out with I think a positive message if you want everything for free. And Eric, you've lived in this city, and we're just been on the sidewalk the last few minutes, and the traffic here is insane. So I don't know if Mamdani is promising better traffic patterns or maybe perhaps free toll roads. I don't know what he's doing, but I can tell you one thing: New York is going to turn out tomorrow, and we're going to find out if they are going to touch the stove on socialism.
I lived there for 30 years. It just blows me away. It's a high Jewish population. There's the very, relatively to the rest of the population, a large LGBTQ community there as well. Mamdani comes from a world that says there's no such thing as the state of Israel, and Muslims believe that. And if you're a homosexual, you should be killed. Yeah. You should be executed. And yet they're going to vote this guy in. So Mamdani's here. Cuomo's about 15 points behind on most polls. Curtis Sliwa, if he left the race, would have put Cuomo within reaching distance, maybe down 4 or 5. Curtis stays in because he believes he's somehow the next Rudy Giuliani, which got news for you, Curtis Sliwa. You ain't no Rudy Giuliani, my friend. It's a very selfish move on Curtis Sliwa's part. What do the people in New York think of Curtis Sliwa?
Yeah, well, I was walking earlier to just talk to a few people that would stop and talk to me, and they are not leaning towards him. And of course, this might be the neighborhood that I'm in, maybe the people I'm talking to. But
no, pretty much the whole city is the same there. You're sitting in the belly of the beast, my friend. You're sitting in, if there were going to be a socialist city in America, it would be that.
But what's really interesting, but this is a test case, and I was talking to Marjorie earlier about this, that if New York does elect Mamdani tomorrow, that puts even more importance on the governor race coming up, and perhaps someone like Elise Stefanik, who was, I guess, been rumored to run, perhaps that gives a greater chance.
I think she's announced that she's not going to run for re-election as a congresswoman, which obviously clears the path for her. Very tall. Those numbers are very, very tough.
Yeah, because think about this. It could, like I was saying, because in 2022, in the height of the lockdown, the Biden regime, and all the terrible things, they still elected a Democrat governor at that time. Now you got a lot of voter fraud, and you got a lot of illegals that are voting in this state, supposedly. So, if this was a fair election, I would hope that the people would elect someone a little less radical than Mamdani, but I don't know if that's the case. But I would think you would think, Eric, politically speaking, if this city elects a socialist, communist type of mayor, that the rest of the state rallies behind the exact opposite, and we could have a Republican governor. But we'll see that. Lee Zeldin gave one heck of a try in 2022. He came up short, and New York still elected a Democrat governor. But we'll find out. I mean, a lot of things are in play, and I don't think we've had such a far left-leaning candidate for a mayor here in a long time. Eric, you've been here, obviously.
Hey, Brian, I don't think there is a further far left-leaning candidate in the history of any major city mayoral race, including Fatah in Minneapolis, who's an outright, says he's Muslim, and that's it. It doesn't even speak English, so that would be left. Yeah. But this guy basically says we're going to take socialist policy and implement it in the biggest financial center in the world, our largest city as well. It just seems so misguided. What can Trump do or not do if Mamdani wins?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, you talk about some of the issues that's gone on in other states, and Trump has, threatened to withheld federal funds to those states if they didn't do, X, Y, and Z. I don't know what he can do. Now, I don't think he's obviously going to come out and endorse anyone in the race tomorrow. Now, however, tonight at 7 o'clock, at 7:30, he's doing a kind of a tele-rally from the Oval Office for both the New Jersey governor race and the Virginia governor race. That's tonight, but I don't think he's going to weigh in at all. He hasn't so far on the race here tomorrow for mayor.
Brian, imagine if Mamdani wins and Trump sends National Guard or the the military into the city of New York, Manhattan, the uproar that's going to. I mean, we may be on the verge of some sort of civil war in America.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. I'm just blown. Brian, I'm old enough to remember if you said socialism in someone's bio, they're disqualified from running for office, maybe even disqualified from being your friend. It was that. It's killed so many people around the world. Somehow New York thinks it's a great idea going forward. Wild situation.
I don't know. They're giving away free stuff, and some of this younger generation, they like that. They want the free commutes on the trains. They want housing rent freeze. They don't no longer can these rents in these beautiful apartments go up 100% in a couple of years. He wants to freeze all of that. So maybe that's enticing to certain people. But if you're a business owner here, your corporation based in New York City, Eric, you and I both know they're going to pack up and they're going to go down to where you're at right now in South Florida or go to Texas. And so those two states are courting all those big corporations right here in the Big Apple. So
I mentioned this earlier, Brian. I mentioned this earlier. There are signs, billboards, memes going around with Florida Realtor of the Year, and it's a picture of Mamdani. True story.
That's about right.
So the folks down here really believe if this guy does win, he's going to. Let's be honest, folks. He's going to win. He's going to slam dunk that race. That there will be an exodus from New York of wealthy people not wanting to pay 60, 70% tax and come down here to Florida. I hate the idea. Yeah, my real estate will be more valuable, but my life won't. My quality of life will degrade seeing New York license plates all around this state, which I can't stand.
And there's also, real quickly, if I could talk about Proposition 50 in California, I was just there the last couple of days.
Love this. Yeah.
That is a big thing for that. If a yes on Proposition 50, we'll redistrict California, very much like what Texas did. So you've got that on the ballot as well. So tomorrow is a big race nationwide, but all eyes are right here in New York.
And that looks like it's going to pass resoundingly in California right now. The exit polls are not the exit polls. The pre-polls are showing Prop 50 up around 60% or so.
It hasn't been marketed, Eric. Yeah. I have not seen. I was told by a very good resource here in California that all of the resources for ad spending has been on vote yes on Prop 50. Celebrities are saying vote yes on Prop 50. I did not see one ad that said do not vote for Prop 50. So the media and
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the messaging is to vote yes on it.
The reason why we're even talking about this, folks, is California, by a lot of estimates, most estimates, I won't say everyone, but most estimates say about 40% of the state is not progressive Democrat. They just don't identify that way. Yet only around 9 seats of 50 something are held by Republicans. So the math is just not working. And it's insane to think that it's so underrepresented in conservatives. It's only going to get worse with Prop 50. Final thought, Brian.
Yeah, final thoughts on that. I spent a lot of time in Orange County the last couple of days in LA. I will tell you this, more people came up to me and came up to Marjorie and said, thank you for fighting America. We can all find something in common. We must save this country. Healthcare is a big concern. So let's find issues that we can unite this country on and move forward. But I think in New York, unfortunately, they're going to touch the hot stove, and we'll see what that looks like tomorrow night. By the way, I'll be here, live coverage on the ground in Studio 6B with those guys. We'll be at the warehouse going live, and then watch for Marjorie. We'll be on your show tomorrow at 4 o'clock to talk about her trip to the View. And so if you can send her a couple of texts to give her some heads up and what she can expect, I'm sure she will appreciate it.
I shall do that as soon as we end the show here. I'll send you guys both a text. And she's got to have, as I told you in the break, I was on The View twice in my life. And you walk out there and you're ready. You're walking in again into the lion's den, so to speak, with 5 lions, and they all want to just rip you apart. I mean, what I did was I was very nice to Whoopi and Joy right off the bat, and they kind of disarmed them. But that Sunny host, and she didn't take any of that bait. But I will text Marjorie, and we are looking forward to having her for a couple of blocks on the show tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So that's great tease, Brian.
And American Sunrise, I'm here in New York as well. So if you get up and watch American Sunrise.
Hardest working man in TV right there, folks. Brian Glenn. I appreciate it. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Eric.
All right, folks. We will be back 2.5 minutes.